you just got to go for it. I mean, I didn't know, like, you know, dressing Billy on the red carpet, putting him in a gown, like, I didn't even think about that. And I didn't know it would have such an effect on people's world and minds and the culture. And now it's in, you know, being asked to be put in a museum every day. Like, I had no idea. I wasn't thinking about it that way. I just wanted to make Billy look really cool.
Hello, welcome again. Another Newsweek conversation, this time in a super special location. We're in Christian Siriano's home base, store, retail, office.
Everything.
Everything, right, just off Fifth Avenue. It's a beautiful townhouse. Welcome to our Newsweek conversation.
Thank you. You look lovely.
Oh, I told you before we got on, I heard you had a Sandro jacket, so I chose my Sandro suit. So
it's very nice.
Thank you very,
Lots of
very
color.
much. Thank you. One of the things that's just amazing, and I'm actually going to show you this card. This is a partial list of some of the people you've dressed. So I'm going to pick for some names because it's kind of crazy. It's mind-blowing. Like, you know, I got to start with Michelle Obama, but Angelina Jolie, Ariana Grande, Laurie Metcalf, Julianne Moore, Lady Gaga, Sarah Jessica Parker, Carrie Underwood, Tina Fey, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Emma Roberts, Christina Hendricks, Heidi Klum, Oprah Winfrey, and my favorite, Lizzo.
Of course.
And that was not even a third of the list. It's
a lot of people.
It's crazy.
But all great, amazing women who, you know, are their own kind of powerhouse. So that's what we love about them.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just amazing. And I read somewhere that, I think it was the 2018 Oscars, you dressed over 17 people at the Oscars.
Yeah, it was like 17 people in one night. It was like Oscars, Vanity Fair. It was wild. That's crazy.
Incredible.
We almost didn't make it through, but we did.
And of course, you have this retail store.
Yeah.
You've launched 5 fragrances.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And of course, you're the mentor on Bravo's Project Runway.
Yeah. They all have to pay for the townhouse off Fifth Avenue, you know. So we got to keep busy.
I can't even imagine what the monthly nut is on this townhouse.
You don't want to know.
No, I do not.
I don't even want to know, and I pay it.
Actually, I think you want to know less than I want to know.
Very much.
Given that incredible list of people, is there anyone left that you really want to dress that you haven't?
It's really funny. You know, I had goals in the beginning, and we got to dress pretty much everyone on that list, which is great. And now I kind of like, sometimes I think about like, oh, if I put it out there, it won't happen. So I kind of like don't really say anymore. But there are a few people. I mean, I haven't actually dressed Nicole Kidman, who I love. So that would be a nice next person. But I really let it happen organically. Like, I never force it. We're not like going after somebody. It just happens pretty naturally. Every time, for the most part.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, naturally and to everyone.
Yeah. No, it is. It's such a random mix of people, which is what I love, though. I think it's kind of also what makes the job still exciting. It's not the same people over and over again, so that's fun, too.
Well, so you've dressed a couple of men. Billy Porter, you broke the internet when you dressed him up.
Yeah.
Are you just incredible? The dress tuxedo, just spectacular.
Yeah, it was a great moment.
It was a fantastic moment. Are you going to do any more sort of gender neutral or men's? I mean, I actually saw in the store, I don't think they're yours, a couple of sweatshirts and t-shirts that I thought that I could wear.
Yeah, no, it's always been like important that I kind of feel like now, especially, that I try not to say that it's only women's wear or only men's wear. People, like, I kind of try to leave it a little open as much as possible, because I think now, I think men, women, whoever you are, you should be able to kind of wear what you want to wear. Yeah. So, I mean, even if like somebody wants to wear this and, you know, whatever, who cares? So I kind of am in that mentality now. I mean, especially in this climate, nobody should be turned away. Like, if you want to wear a ball gown and spend $10,000 on it, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you look like. I think you should have what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about never turning people away, is there anyone that would come up to you and you would be like, yeah, I know you want to dress me, but I'm just not prepared to do that?
I don't have have anybody like off the top of my head. I mean, maybe a few, but the most part, it's really maybe people that like don't stand for something or maybe don't support something. That would probably be it. When, you know, if I were to say no, but that would be the only reason. It has nothing to do with anything else. Yeah, it would have to be like something they said, or if they don't support like the gay community or whatever, then obviously I'm a gay young designer, I can't dress you. So things like that I think are very important for all designers or anybody that makes something, because this is kind of a form of art too. It is. You know, it really is. So it's very,
this is,
it's very expressive. So I think it would be important for me as an artist to like want to dress people that are good people. Yeah.
Supportive at least.
Yes.
You started your career interning with Alexander McQueen and Vivienne Westwood in the other order, I think. What was that like?
Yeah, Westwood was first. It was amazing, you know, a great experience. You know, I think living in London was a really creative place for a young kind of mind. It was nice. I just kind of made what I want to make. And working for them, they're such creative geniuses as well. So I kind of try to still treat my studio like I remember their studio. It's very hands-on. Everybody is involved in something. And I think that's still important. I think that's actually why we're able to do what we're able to do, because I let everybody kind of be in it. We all kind of make quick decisions. And
Are there any things that you experienced there that you changed here? That are, you know, things that either they didn't do or things that were omitted that you're now doing? Or you really felt that they had their internship thing down and you're sort of mimicking what they did?
I mean, I will say I like my interns now in my company to definitely get a really big experience. I think it's important that they, you know, get to do as much as possible. So we sometimes throw our interns into big projects. So, and I think that would be something that is the only way to learn, especially now. I think just in this fashion culture, like you need as much knowledge as possible because it's a really hard business. So that's something that maybe I didn't know anything about the business at all. And now I try to help everyone understand that part. Because I mean, because I think a young intern doesn't know that, oh, that dress is $10,000. Like you don't know actually how much it costs to make and what the process went through to get there. So I try to make them understand that, and I think that's like so important because I think they respect it more.
Let's talk about the business side for a second, because as you said, it is a hard business. I mean, Zach Posen's label with recent casualty of it. You know, when at least when we did our research on you, you just seem to have gone from strength to strength to strength. But I know there must have been some hiccups along the road.
Oh my God, every day.
My favorite one was that FIT rejected you.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I really love that.
And then asked you to come and speak at their graduation, which I thought
twice. I've been busy both times. No, I love FIT. But actually, no, it is a funny thing. I mean, we have the dumbest problems all the time. I mean, I remember like we had a shipping bill that was like so crazy that I was like, we can't even afford to pay rent because the shipping bill was so high. You know, that happened, you know, years ago, and just like little things like that. I remember one of my employees typed 2,000 units instead of 200 units. So we got 2,000 dresses instead of 200 dresses. Oh my God. So that happens.
When you get 2,000 dresses instead of 200, what do you do?
Yeah, we sold them for a really long time at the sample sale, let me tell you. But we had to pay the bill, we had to pay the factory. I mean, it was really, there were a lot of challenges like that, like early on, that no one would understand because the world sometimes thinks that clothes just appear in stores, but they don't. And so that was the challenges. Like little, just the day-to-day things were hard to overcome, and I had to learn really quickly how to figure those out.
Thinking about the high end, as you've gone through your career, has that changed at all? I mean, at the very beginning when you were doing your first big red carpet pieces, sort of has the relationship between you and the person you're dressing changed? At the beginning were you like, can I dress you? And now are they like, can you dress me? I mean, has that changed over time?
That definitely has changed a little bit. I think that also is just because any designer, you know, in their business, time really makes a big difference. You know, that's why brands that are big brands have been in the business for a long time. They've lasted through and through. Because it is important to get that customer to come back season after season. You can always get them once, but to keep them coming is the hard part.
Yeah.
Why the Chanels and the Vuittons of the world are successful, because they've been in business for 100 years, you know? So I think for me now, when we started Red Carpet, or we started with customers and retailer, it took time to like get them used to what we did. And now it's nice to be able to say like, oh, I don't know if we're feeling it this time, you know?
Right.
That's nice.
That's very
But also
nice.
Everything's changed. I mean, like Red Carpet's very different now.
What's
Retail
the difference?
stores.
What's the difference between Red Carpet now and what?
Oh my God. I think everything's different. I mean, right now I'm being sued for posting a photo of a dress I did on a celebrity. So like, it is a different world. Social media has changed that. Everything. I know that's going to blow your mind. But everything has changed that. You know.
I mean, so I don't want to ask inappropriate questions, but how?
It's mind blowing the things that are happening with just people wearing clothes and who took the picture of them, or where is it posted, or who paid for it, or if they're on a talk show, do you get anything out of it? I mean, there's so many things to it now that the average person like doesn't care about, but it really matters to like the core part of the business, because at the end of the day, like, we're giving free clothes, so it affects us if we get nothing back or then get in trouble for it.
Right.
That's when it blows my mind.
And so is that true? So on the red carpet, you're giving them free clothes. They're not paying for it.
No, yeah, it's always a loan, because the brand and in terms is getting marketing. So that's kind of always been the trade.
Yeah.
But now it's a little funny. So I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna continue forever and ever. Some people pay. Oprah pays. That's exciting. That's always nice.
I noticed this last time that there was like this massive collision of scheduling between the Oscars and Fashion Week, and you were on on Bravo's Project Runway as well.
Mm-hmm. It was a great, horrible week.
Yeah. Do these people talk to each other at all? Are they gonna? No, they don't.
So rude.
It's so rude.
No, literally, it was like the Golden Globes, the Grammys, like the SAG Awards, then Fashion Week, then the Oscars, and I was filming a show, so that was also very fun. No, I flew back on a red eye like at 1 a.m. to make filming for the next day after the show, which was 2 days before. So I was not a pleasant person that week.
Well, I'm glad we're interviewing you this week.
Or now, yeah.
Think the same thing will happen next time?
Yeah.
Do you?
I hope not. I think it was quite a challenge for everyone. I think everybody felt it. I even think the actresses were like, we can't physically do it all. Actors and actresses, like they couldn't go to everything.
Right.
There's so many events and so many things. I mean, I don't know. I mean, J-Lo was the only one. She could do it all and the Super Bowl. But she's not, that's not normal.
Did you end up having to reject anyone because of the...
We did. We like physically couldn't make certain, like people wanted custom things, but there was like actually no days to do it.
Right.
So that was the challenge, which was hard. But then in the end, it's not everything is about that either. So it's about, the balance.
Right. So we're Newsweek, so I have to ask you some political questions.
Yes.
And
a lot happening in our world.
There is a lot happening in our world. But let's start with you, because fashion, especially some of the things you've done, you have actually done political things with your fashion.
Yeah,
You've made some statements. Mm-hmm. You want to talk to us a little bit about that and how you,
we've done, I think kind of I think fashion is very visual because I think actually all people are very visual people. So what happens in our world actually, I think speaks volumes. So like what we did with Michelle Obama, putting her in that blue dress, it was quite simple, but very powerful. I think that was for us a political statement for that night. We put this kind of statement on the runway a lot, that's people are people, which was very important to kind of like, something for people to really think about, which we kind of continued with into a fragrance and other things. But
and
really,
I've seen the T-shirts downstairs.
Yeah, and it really is something like so simple, but I always thought that like people are people, like who cares what you are, what gender, whatever. So that I thought was very important. But even putting, curvy women on the runway, actually,
it's political.
Even though at the time it wasn't supposed to be, but it is now. It is something saying that like all these different types of cultures and ethnicities and women empowerment is so important right now. And I think we should be supporting that as much as we can. Yeah.
Let's talk about Project Runway.
Yes.
So that's you going full circle.
Full circle,
You could argue, do you feel like Project Runway sort of got you off to your start at the beginning, or?
I mean, it definitely, of course, it always helps. You know, you have millions of people watching you, and you're like, you need to give them something. So, but the challenge is to figure out how to do that, and then build a sustaining business. But so quite a challenge. Yeah. But yeah, it is funny full circle. But it's great now because now I'm back. Now I get paid. It's fabulous. Yeah. The best.
So Bravo brought you back as the mentor. You want to talk to us about what your role is there, what you're trying to do?
Yeah. I actually love the role because, you know, being a mentor for these like young designers who are, you know, also successful, some of them in their own way and some of them very young and new. But I don't think you can be a mentor unless you're actually really working in the business. So I think if anything, they're lucky because they have a red carpet challenge. And well, I just dressed 15 people at the Oscars, so I know something about red carpet. So I think that really helps them. Yeah. And that's what I really try to get through to this young generation. And I'm like, no, like you have to understand, like, I think about it in a different way because I'm a working designer. Yeah. So I think actually it's working out.
I think we can all agree you're going to give fabulous advice because in your red carpet example, you've obviously done it a lot, right?
Yeah.
But then you actually have the judges who are making the decision, not you.
Yeah.
So there's another level to that.
Though. Yeah. Don't you worry.
Oh, is that right? Did
I give my opinions.
Did the judges check with you and get your opinion beforehand?
I do give my opinions a little bit because at the end of the day, like, well, I've won and turned it into a very successful business that has lasted, you know, almost 15 years. So I think I know something about what happens afterward.
Right.
So I really try to get through the judge's mind that I'm like, even if they're the best designer, they might be unbelievable, they will never succeed because I work with them every day in the workroom, and if I feel the negative energy or like they don't support something, I'm like, well, then you're never going to survive because you can't. Right. So I really try to give them that feedback. And I think it's very important. I mean, I have a designer that was from last season that works here now. So because I thought he was super talented.
Who is that?
His name's Rakan. He was on the previous season. He was so talented. And I love that he works here.
And how many rounds did he get through?
And he made it pretty far, almost to the end. Yeah. And I think, but all of them, I mean, a lot of them, I would love a lot of them to come work for me because they're all talented. They might not be ready to launch a brand, but definitely talented.
Yeah. So at the moment, there are, as we're filming this today, and obviously this will live longer than today, but there are 4 people left in the final, right?
Yes.
Nancy, Jeffrey, Sergio, and Victoria.
Yes.
Right? One of the things that shocks me about the show is when, you know, one day you're in and then you're not, is that they're very good about the exits. I mean, there are tears, but it's so, I'm moved by how accepting most of them are. Is there some editing involved there?
You know what's funny? This group, the last 2 seasons, I will say, I think the designers are a little bit, as I'm saying this, but they're a little more self-aware. Like, I think they do understand that, like, when the work isn't great, because it's in front of you and you can really see it. And I think that we all do a really good job of like actually showing that to someone. It takes definitely humility, but I think they have it a little bit, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had it my season, but I was never eliminated, so that's fine.
You don't know what it's like.
I don't know what it's like. I always say that. I'm like, it's such a sassy thing to say, but I wasn't, so I don't know what happened.
Christian, thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
It's a great conversation with you.
That was a fun round.
Yeah.
Thank you. Loved it.
Thank you.
You need this.
I clearly.